The legend of the dogs that died on Scotland Bridge is a tragic one, with many different accounts of how many dogs perished and why. The most common story is that 100 dogs were thrown off the bridge in a single day, as part of a superstitious ritual to prevent a plague. However, there is no historical evidence to support this claim, and other stories put the number of dogs at anywhere from 13 to 60. The most likely explanation for the legend is that it originated from a series of unrelated incidents over time. In the 17th century, there was a law in Scotland that required dogs to be muzzled in public. This law was often ignored, and there were occasional reports of dogs biting people. In some cases, these dogs were thrown off bridges in an attempt to kill them. Another possible explanation for the legend is that it is based on the practice of dog baiting, which was a popular sport in Scotland at the time. In dog baiting, dogs were set upon a tethered bear or bull for entertainment. It is possible that some dogs were thrown off bridges after they had been injured or killed in a dog baiting match. Whatever the true explanation, the legend of the dogs that died on Scotland Bridge is a reminder of the dark side of human nature. It is a story of cruelty and superstition, and it is a reminder of the importance of compassion for all creatures. Here are some of the different accounts of the legend. One story says that the dogs were thrown off the bridge in a single day, as part of a superstitious ritual to prevent a plague. The plague was a deadly disease that swept through Scotland in the 17th century, and people believed that throwing dogs off the bridge would appease the gods and stop the plague. Another story says that the dogs were thrown off the bridge as punishment for their owners' crimes. In one version of the story, the dogs were the property of thieves who had been caught stealing from the king. In another version, the dogs were the property of witches who had been accused of practicing black magic. Still another story says that the dogs were thrown off the bridge because they were seen as a threat to public safety. In this version of the story, the dogs were feral and had been terrorizing the townspeople. No matter how the legend originated, it is clear that it has had a lasting impact on the people of Scotland. The bridge is now known as Dogs Bridge, and it is said to be haunted by the ghosts of the dogs that died there. In recent years, there have been efforts to make amends for the tragedy. In 2015, a plaque was erected on the bridge in memory of the dogs that died. The plaque reads, "In memory of the dogs who were thrown from this bridge. May their souls rest in peace." The legend of the dogs that died on Scotland Bridge is a reminder of the importance of compassion for all creatures. It is a story of cruelty and superstition, but it is also a story of hope and redemption. The plaque on the bridge is a symbol of the people's desire to remember the victims of this tragedy and to ensure that it never happens again.